The British Army in Belize, welcome to the GCN Show.
From sunny Central Florida,
welcome to the GCN Show.
From the 5 Towns Riders Cycling Dinner, welcome to the GCN Show.
Welcome to the GCN Show. This week, Cy has been over in California with Zwift. Matt is currently with Team BMC in Spain. And here in the office, we're discussing whether we, as cyclists, should be able to break the law.
Oh, we tell you which lucky GCN viewer has won these crud cards. We tell you about a new competition with science and sport. And we still have time to talk you through some great hacks, some uber cool tech, and the best cycling stories from around the world. And Kanye West's in it as well.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
That shouldn't take long. 4 or 5 seconds. Caption competition time now. Last week's photo was this one that you probably don't want to see again, but here it is anyway. Somebody holding up Sven Nace's bike. The winner of last week's caption competition is Jimmy Smith. Lots of people came in with captions along similar lines, but he was the first one that we could find. He put caption, introducing the new Leotard Trek racing team.
That was good. Why did we not think of that, mate? That was genius.
Because we're not very good, Si.
No, it's true. You win a GCN water bottle. Don't touch it because you got flu hands.
Oh, yeah.
Don't want to infect
touch
it.
the bottom.
There you go. GCN water bottle. Get in touch and we will send it out. This week's caption photo is this one of Alexander Kristoff. I'm not entirely sure what that's all about, but anyway, Dan, perhaps you can think of a caption.
Yes, I can. Katyusha.
Sometimes the simplest ones are the best.
You're laughing because it's so good.
Proper. And you know what? That's not even the first time I've heard it, and I'm still giggling. That's amazing. Maybe you can take that actually, because you got flu hands all over it.
Yeah, I probably will do. Leave your best captions in the section below this video, and we'll choose our winner this time next week.
Katyusha.
It's now time for cycling shorts.
Cycling shorts now, and first up, our fundraising efforts for the World Bicycle Relief have now come to a close. And we have to say a massive thank you to you guys, because with your help, we have raised £16,496. Yeah, absolutely, that is brilliant. So thank you very much. That is enough for 173 Buffalo bikes. You will have noticed, of course, that Dan, very smugly, still has his hair. But do not worry, it is going this week. And we're going to be showing the very moment live. So stay tuned to Facebook and YouTube, because Dan is going to have his head shaved.
Yeah, thanks for that, guys. I'm really looking forward to it.
173 bikes, that's amazing.
Moving swiftly on, second only to Bradley Wiggins in the will he, won't he retirement saga scale is Joaquim Rodriguez, who announced retirement after the Olympics, came out of retirement to join the Bahrain Merida team, but has now definitively said that he is hanging up his competitive wheels.
Oh.
Thankfully, the team that he signed for, Bahrain Merida, did get a slot in the World Tour. Thanks probably in part to the World Tour points that he brought along. And maybe it's the fact that they're in the World Tour now that has made him relaxed enough to say that he's going to finish racing.
A cynical person might have linked that, but
yeah, me being cynical. They have signed a new rider though, in the form of Franco Pellizotti, who is incidentally a year older than Perito.
Yeah. Right, now we have to report some really, really sad news now, because the young talent Etienne Fabre, who was a stagiaire for AG Desert last year, was unfortunately killed at the weekend. He was involved in a hiking accident and tragically died as a result. So our thoughts go out to his family, his friends, and also his teammates.
Yeah, they certainly do. That was horrible news to read at the weekend, I must admit. Trying to move things back onto a more positive note. It's been a while since we've done Club of the Week here at GCN, but we're going to make an exception for this GCN show because of a club that's been hitting the headlines. We don't actually know the name of the club, do we? Somebody might be able to help us out in that regard. But they're over in Kabul in Afghanistan, and they've really been pushing the boundaries over there, mainly because 15 out of their current 50 members are young females, which is great news. As I said, really pushing the boundaries, but their main interests are freestyle mountain biking.
Yeah, that is proper cool, isn't it? Right, Dan, you know what it's time for?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, tenuous cycling celebrity of the week. And this week, It's Kanye West.
That's a good start, because
Yeah.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, exactly. No doubting his celebrity credentials. A little question mark over his cycling credentials, but the website x17.com has exclusive photos of him riding a BMX. Now, for me, I'm not entirely sure that I could positively identify Kanye in those photos because he is wearing a full-face, blacked-out motorbike helmet. But nevertheless, they're pretty sure. Apparently he's wearing his wedding ring. So there we go. Kanye West rides a BMX. Who knew?
Fascinating.
Tech of the week now. We're going to start off with this from Cy, who was recently over in the US of A.
There is some very big news in the world of Zwift, and that is their new app that means that you can now use Zwift on an iPad and even an iPhone. So it's the same Zwift, means you get the same set of features, but now it's potentially even easier for some of us to use. So you don't need an AMP Plus dongle anymore, it works off Bluetooth. It's clearly very portable, and then all the features are now in a touchscreen. So you can give kudos, or you can wave at people, just like in the real world. And then the other thing is that it's also now potentially more accessible for us. So all you need to get started, if you don't have a smart trainer or something, is a Bluetooth speed and cadence sensor. And then of course, it's just your iPhone, you download the app where you get a 7-day free trial. I tell you what, mate, there is a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, it
going on
looks
there.
like it.
Really exciting. Okay, now some more news this week. I think it's tech, kind of tech. Anyway, do you remember the GCN Uber bar? So that was back before Uber was a thing, and we basically went all cookery show on you, and I showed you how to make a homemade energy bar. Well, a man called Steve Taylor, based out in Philadelphia, enjoyed making, and probably most importantly, eating the GCN Uber bar, and then spent considerable time refining the recipe.
Yeah, and he's got to the point now where he's actually selling the thing. That's right, offspring of GCN's humble Uber bar is now on the market. It's only in one shop at the moment, and that is called Stargazy in Philly itself. Philly being what the locals call Philadelphia.
Thanks, mate.
Over there. It's a specialist pie and mash shop, apparently. These are the festive versions, which I think you'll agree look very cool. I particularly like the font that he's used on that packaging.
Nice, yeah, packaging for an Uber bar, or kind of an Uber bar. They look great. Do you think you can send them through the post, Steve? Is that allowed?
Yeah,
probably
our stomachs are rumbling.
Yeah, there's probably some customs issues, but still.
Last week, we thought we would give you the opportunity to win our last set of Crud Road Racers Mark III. Now, loads of you have sent photos in saying why you deserve to win them. Unfortunately, there is only one winner because we only got one set left. But before we announce said winner, let's go through a few honourable mentions.
Yeah, people that came oh so close to grabbing that set. Firstly, Leo Baird, who sent in this tweet. Why do I need these mudguards? Because my team's leg warmers are white. That is a fair point, you do need mudguards, but you probably want to find a new team as well with a bit better style.
I think I had white leg warmers with my white shorts at one point. Second, Paul Davies, he wrote in saying, I need some mudguards because in December I dress up as Santa for my commute.
Oh, Paul, no!
And the kids are starting to think that Santa is incontinent.
Oh my word, I don't know what to do with those images. Oh my word. Right, but the winner, the person that we felt truly deserved these mudguards, sent in loads of photos actually, but this video took the biscuit for us. So congratulations to Mark Kelly. Get in touch and we will send you your mudguards out through the post. And also we thought after that video that you might need those as well. So that's a pair of bottom bracket bearings.
They're second hand.
Well, to be fair, they are actually mine, so we probably won't send you
That's
those.
poor bloke. He thought he was getting new bottom bracket bearings.
Well, it depends on what bottom bracket you got. It's a maze, Dan. It's an absolute maze. Anyway, thank you to all of the entries. They were absolutely brilliant. We had a great time looking through them. And if you didn't win, I am sorry. But we've got another competition coming right up.
Yes, we have. From our nutritional partners, Science in Sport, you have the opportunity to win a £100 gift voucher, which is worth around about $140, or there are 3 runners-up prizes of £50 each, which is, what, $70 roughly.
That's a pretty cool Christmas present, isn't it? All you've got to do to enter is click on the link in the description below this video and answer a simple question that Lasty will have dreamt up. So if it's too difficult, blame him. So, I was riding to work the other day. I stopped at a set of traffic lights and another cyclist came up, sailed straight through the red light, and he didn't even stop to say hello.
Didn't say hello?
No, he didn't even stop to say hello.
Yeah, mate. Knob.
Leaving aside that indiscretion, I actually caught up with him, chased after him after the lights had changed, to ask him why on earth he felt entitled to go straight through a red light. And he said that he felt like he deserved to go through it because cars were out to get him, and that actually it was safer for him as a cyclist to go through red lights. Now, it's safe to say that we resolved the discussion amicably, and we agreed to disagree.
I'm glad it was amicable.
Oh yeah.
For his sake mainly. I've seen you angry, so it's not pretty. It is quite an interesting point of view though, cars were out to get him. And it does tie in with some news which has just come out of Brussels. So in Belgium now, at certain junctions where it's deemed safe, cyclists are now allowed to go through red lights without breaking the law. And actually, it's not an isolated case, Belgium. A few other countries have similar laws, amongst them are France, Germany, and the Netherlands too.
Yeah, and even in parts of the United States, actually, because in a vote recently, New York passed legislation to allow cyclists to go through 1,500 junctions in the state on red lights. You're still giving way to pedestrians, but nevertheless, that has got us thinking.
Those ominous GCN words.
Yeah, that's right. Should cyclists be allowed to go through red lights?
Well, it's an interesting subject, and of course in the countries that we have just mentioned, you would not be breaking the law if you did that. We are certainly not advocating doing it in countries elsewhere without those laws.
No, I'll have words.
But what do you think there at home? Should cyclists be allowed to go through red lights, and does this need looking at in countries where that law hasn't passed or isn't even in a subject matter at the moment? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section just down below.
I think that's going to be a hot topic, mate.
I definitely think so.
Do you go through red lights?
I used to.
Oh! Crime against cycling.
It's my favourite time of the week.
Mine
It's
too.
hack/Bodge of the week, and this first one is on Instagram. It's a video. It comes in from Melon Dog. Take a look at this.
Up, in the back. Good boy. Yeah, good, Melon.
That is amazing!
Yeah,
How cool is that?
I'd love that as a dog.
As in, if
Do
you
a
were a
bit
dog,
of,
you'd
do a
like-
bit of running, have a bit of rest.
That is so, I think the trailer is a definite hack.
Yeah, for
I think the mudguard, which looks, well, that is a bodge.
Looks like it does its
Basically.
job for Melon,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Keeps the mud out of his eyes.
If he tagged that GCN Epic and entered, we would have given him a set of mudguards. But anyway, never mind. There you go. Still, that's a hack for you. Right, next up, this was spotted by Jake Darragh, who works in a bike shop. Yeah, that's quite a bodge, isn't it?
That's a definite bodge. People that work in bike shops must see loads of this stuff.
Oh,
Keep sending
man.
it in.
Yeah, terrifying. Frankly, terrifying. But anyway, cracking bodge.
Connor Lee. My dad recently had surgery and can't put too much pressure on his arms, so he got me to place clip-on aero bars fully tilted up on another set of bars. And I'd imagine that does the job quite well. He must be quite upright there.
I know, but
I'd say hack, I reckon.
yeah, duct tape's pretty. Not, you know, you don't want it to break and your dad has to get a surgery again, I guess. One thing I did notice is that there isn't much stuff under your front wheel on the turbo, so why not just throw some more books under there, tilt the whole bike back, and be like you're climbing as well.
Well, you all might fall backwards with the height of those things.
Yeah, okay, fair point. Right, what about this one, Dan, from Max, who spotted this masterpiece in Munich. Now, initially you think, well, what on earth is that? And then you realise that someone must have done that on purpose.
Yeah.
And then you look at it more closely and you realise that someone's done it on purpose and then bodged it like you wouldn't believe. That is utterly bonkers.
I'd love to see, presumably somebody can ride that,
Yeah,
the owner. I'd like to see it. I don't think I could.
remarkable. Thank you for sending that in, Max. That is a grade A bodge.
Yeah, bodge, definitely. Oh, quick one from last week. Matt got the cartoon wrong on these shoes.
Some might say he bodged it.
Yeah, he's going to be gutted. They were, of course, from Speed Racer cartoon and not whatever Matt said.
We knew.
He
we
thinks
just
he's
didn't
such an
say.
expert, he's going to be gutted.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Bit of a dog theme going on this week. This one from Andy Lawton, who's made somewhere for his dog to sit on the top tube there. Looks very comfy, doesn't he?
It does look very comfy.
Hack.
Yeah. 130-mile ride though. That would have to be really comfy. That's quite a long time for a dog to just lie in one place, isn't
Yeah.
it? Anyway, there we go. I like that. That's a hack if you like carrying your dog on your bike rides. Okay, this next one, David O'Brien, internal cable routing.
At its best.
Of a sort, yeah. Yeah.
I might go with bodge, I think.
I
on
think
that
it's
one.
the brake lever positioning that's the most bodge thing. What on earth is that about? It must be a hipster thing.
Love this next one. We do get quite a few people writing in saying delicately, how can I keep my private parts warm when it's cold outside and I've just got Lycra on? Well, you can do this. You can put a hot water bottle on top of your saddle. Pretty much say hot particularly long, but might do the job for a first 30-minute ride.
I don't think we can top that for this week, mate. I think we've got to say that is the end of Hack or Bodge.
Yeah, get your festive hacks and bodges ready for us for this time next week. We're going to be doing a festive special on social media, hashtag GCN Hack.
Racing news now, and it is that time of year when all the rumours about the forthcoming season start to surface, and in particular, the race programmes of the big Grand Tour riders. And this year, apparently, there is renewed interest in the Giro d'Italia from some of the big French names, possibly due to the great route of the Giro, really mountainous, but then also possibly due to TV rights in France. Either way, Thibaut Pinot of FDJ apparently is going to attempt the Giro Tour double, which is cool.
Wow, I did a Giro Tour double once.
Did you?
Yeah.
Actually, I knew that.
Didn't go very well. Finished near the back. So, good luck, Thibaut. Right, another big name who's also said he wants to focus on the Giro in 2017 is Bauke Mollema. Not French, of course, he's from the Netherlands, but he'll be heading up Trek Segafredo for the event next year, and I'm really looking forward to that. Good GC battle at the Giro, always very entertaining.
Oh, I am. Oh, yeah, just imagine that, especially if Kruijswijk is there as well.
Yeah.
Dutch fans are going to have a lot to cheer for, potentially.
They will do. They will do. They haven't won a Grand Tour for a long time. Almost did this year, didn't they, with Kruijswijk? Very unfortunate indeed. Right, heading back off-road, there were a couple of slightly lower key cross races that took place at the weekend.
Compared to the single-speed cyclocross World Championships,
that's what I meant. Starting off with the latest round of the DVV series, which took place in Essen. The men's event was won by Wout van Aert, who took advantage of some mechanical issues that befell Mathieu van der Poel. Whilst in the women's event, Sanne Cant got the better of Talise de Jong just in a sprint finish. That was very, very close.
It was indeed, wasn't it? Van der Poel didn't have long to wait to get his own back. The very next day, at the Vlaamse Drievencross, he duly did just that. Now, whether it's because he had fresh legs from the day before, or whether it's just because he's absolutely crushing it at the moment, he still put a minute into Wout van Aert. And Kevin Powles rounded out the podium in third. Kevin Powles said something a little bit incendiary, by the way. I didn't know whether you heard. He said that Van der Poel and Van Aert are riding faster now than Sven Nys ever rode, which is annoyed.
He looked upset today.
Yeah, it's annoyed a lot of Sven Nys fans.
Yeah. No
Myself
wonder
included.
you're such a mood, Si. It was Kevin Powell's quote, was it?
To be fair, he might have a point. He probably knows.
Yeah. I wonder how he does know that he's not just going slower himself. It's Cycling Confessions now. A little bit of an apology. I wrote down the name of last week's confessor wrong. So it wasn't actually the person we said it was. It was Tim Butch. Gave his real name.
That's anyway, like a confession, mate, to start confessions off with.
Yeah, sorry. Probably the crime against cycling. Tim conceded that in a ride a few years ago, he had deliberately scared some cats, one of which then went out into the road and took his wife off her bike. And she had multiple grazes, took skin off, and he's felt bad about it ever since, unsurprisingly. Well, unsurprisingly, you lot have voted him guilty by 59% to 41%. I'm not surprised about that at all, are you?
No, I suppose not. Is the crime then that he's guilty of scaring cats? Or guilty of causing his wife to crash?
Well, of a crime against cycling. I think if it was about being bad to cats, it would have been 99%.
Yeah, good point, actually. A crime against animals, that's much more serious. Right, okay, this next up, we are actually going to withhold the name and address of this individual.
Know his name.
Yeah, because...
For his own good.
This is pretty tough, this one. Right, he said that this may be a contender for crime against cycling. He's been kept quiet about it for some time, but he feels that he needs to come clean. It's May the 23rd, 2013. The Ampost Ros, or Ras, depending on which part of Ireland you're from, the biggest, his words, and most prestigious race in Ireland.
Oh, you've won it, haven't you?
Funny you say that. I'm glowing. Had a stage finish in Mitchellstown. I'm so nervous about my pronunciations.
Keep going.
Mitchellstown, about 25 kilometres from his house. He's booked the day off. He can't wait to get down there and pick a good vantage point. He brings his camera with him to get some good photographs. The excitement builds. He ventures out into the road, well beyond the finish line, to catch the money shot. The riders crossing the finish line. Well, the riders appear. His lens is trained on the line. He squeezes the button. He has the perfect shot of winner Moreno de Pau. He lowers his camera, delighted with himself, but hadn't realised the speed that top-class bike racers reach at a finish line. He's directly in front of me, and bang! I I feel the pain as I go head over heels. As I sail through the air, all I can see are the headlines on the evening sports news and my unwanted few seconds of fame. The fool that stood in front of a bike race. He struggles to his feet gradually. Thankfully, he sees that he hasn't taken Moreno de Pau down, so he beats a hasty retreat in case anyone recognises me. He makes eye contact with one man whose face says it all. He takes the back streets to his car, leaves town as fast as he can.
Wow.
There we go. That is the man that brought down Moreno de Pau in the RAS, confessing for all of you on GCN.
That was a big story at the time. That's
It
why
was.
we've actually covered up this person's name, because he did give it to us. Right, you've got your chance to vote in this now. Was that a crime against cycling? You can find a little box somewhere around this window where you can cast your vote. I've got a feeling I know which way this one's going to swing again. And before we finish this segment, make sure that you do continue to send in your stories which are possible crimes against cycling. We love reading them all. We're going to read out another one this time next week.
I'm going to vote in this one, mate.
Are you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad he's confessed, but...
Maybe he misjudged the speed of riders crossing the finish line because he'd come and watch your win.
It's funny because it's true.
3 comments to read out this time around. The first of those came in underneath 5 workouts to make you quicker next summer. It comes in from Brent Pretorius. At 6 minutes 52, you can see Dan hiding in the bushes. And yes, I will admit I did hide behind the bushes because actually I didn't know where to go once I got into the field, so I had to wait for these 2 to finish.
Excellent. Right, you wouldn't believe how many takes it took as well. Poor old Dan, spent hours in the field. Right, underneath how to stop cycling boredom, we've got this from Swedish House FIFA, who said some people take bars to their rides to fuel up. Dan stops at them instead. Dan, are all these comments about you this week, mate?
No, the last one isn't. I couldn't find another one about me. Underneath last week's GCN show, this comes in from Ashley Newsom. GCN jumper? A jumper in the US is a totally different meaning. LMAO, I know what that means. I still think the Christmas GCN jumper looks great. You guys are awesome. Thought I'd read that last bit out. Yeah, and jumper in the US is very different. I looked it up.
Don't they call like jumpers sweats?
Yeah,
because in the UK, if I said I was, had the sweats, I've been there
exactly
before.
what
Yeah,
you meant.
exactly. We're just in an impasse.
Probably a great time to mention that these Christmas special edition jumpers are available on the GCN shop, shop.globalcyclingnetwork.com.
Does pullover as a term cross the Atlantic, you think?
I don't know.
Because not many people use it in the UK, but pullover, Christmas pullover.
On the channel this week, on Wednesday, Tom Last shows you how to unclip from your pedals. Much more interesting than it sounds, actually. Nice little video. And then on Thursday, we decipher which was the best bike in the World Tour in 2016, using an incredibly complicated spreadsheet with all sorts of algorithms which we didn't really understand, done by somebody far more intelligent than us.
But effectively, we have rewritten the World Tour, and it makes sense.
Have we? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Looking forward
for
to that
bikes.
video too.
We've created the World Tour for bikes. It's brilliant.
And Friday is, of course, Ask GC Anything.
Saturday, I'm pleased to announce that we have Daniel Lloyd's Canyon Ultimate CF SLX Pro Bike. In his words, in that special blue colour.
Special.
It's a very nice coloured bike. Yeah, and then on Sunday, we put Quintana versus Froome, or at least their pedalling styles, which is the fastest for me and Dan. We went to find out. And then Monday is a maintenance Monday video I'm particularly excited about. I got to renovate a Shimano Dura-Ace rear derailleur. Brought it back from the dead. And now it works. There you go, watch that one and find out how.
And then on Tuesday, it's back here.
Hi, I'm Richie Port. Welcome to the GCN Show.
We're getting perilously close to the end of the show now. So it is time for Extreme Corner. And we have got a really cool little edit here from Evil Bikes. Now, it's not eye-wateringly extreme, but it is extreme, and it also really makes me want to go and ride a bike. Perhaps not even wearing Lycra as well.
Is it a mountain bike?
Yeah, but it's really good. Check it out.
Quite extreme.
Yeah, I just love
That's
it.
the right term for it.
That looks amazing, doesn't it? That looks absolutely brilliant.
Right, one last mention of the GCN shop. You have still just about got time to put your order in and get it by Christmas in certain parts of the world. So head over to shop.globalcyclingnetwork.com for loads of merch, including mugs, glasses, etc. That's the end of this week's show. Join us again next week for the GCN Christmas special. And in the meantime, if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe by clicking on the globe.
Yeah, and if you're after some more GCN content, then we had 2 interesting features over the weekend. We had Can a Road Bike Ride Cyclocross, that's just up there, and indeed we had how to make a power meter, specifically the PowerTap P1 pedals, so go check those out if you fancy it.